Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Elena Demonetized. Today, I have someone so fun, Lola. So before we get started with Lola, let's jump right into this week's episode of Elena Demonetized. Lola, tell us everyone who you are because you're so beautiful. I'm a big fan of you.
Thank you very much. Well, for the people who don't know me, I'm Lola Morena. I'm a porn star, also a performer. Also a dancer. So that's who I am. I'm a pretty chill transgender woman from the Bay Area. I guess.
You always grew up in the Bay?
No. I actually was born and raised in a little island in my country, which is El Salvador.
That's so cute. Like a little island.
I know.
I love
an
that.
islander. That's how I sell myself. I'm like, I'm just an islander girl. Like,
No, because your accent is very it sounds very foreign and it's exotic.
I
know. It's not like a Spanish accent. It's not like a typical Brazilian accent. It's like Colombian. Yes. It's like something else. Like when I heard you talk for the first time, I was like, what is she? I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, yeah, I get it a lot. I actually, people tells me if I'm Brazilian, ask me if I'm Brazilian because of my accent. But no, I speak Spanish.
It's like almost similar to like Sofia Vergara.
I love it.
I love her accent too. So I love that so much. But yes, go on. Tell us more about yourself.
Okay, I'm currently living in San Francisco. But I moved. I'm an immigrant. I have the
still or no?
Not anymore.
Oh, congrats!
I got
welcome to the country.
And the green card and everything. Before for porn, you had to be legal in this country.
Yeah, because you're making money. You're working.
There's no way for you to shoot without papers.
Under the table, yeah.
But they don't do it anymore because
it's all strict now.
Everybody's reporting taxes and everybody, everything goes.
That's the American way.
Welcome to America. That's the reality, American dream.
Yeah,
I love it. But I grew up in.
You're just so beautiful. I love looking. I'm so happy to just look at you. You're so gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm looking at you, and you're so gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm like, just like a Wings Club doll. I love it.
Thank you.
She's so beautiful. Beautiful in person. I've been looking at her face this whole entire time, and I'm like, God damn. Damn.
Thank you.
I'm in the presence of a goddess, you guys.
Oh my God. Look at me. I'm already so blushed.
So beautiful. But yes, go on. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, we're girl. So I came here to America when I was 17.
So you transitioned when you were back home.
Back home.
So what was that like? Transitioning in a foreign country.
We don't have gender we don't have gender care, I would say, out there. Even it's pretty old school way.
Yeah. So it's buy your meds online or?
No, there's no online because I was from an island.
How did you do it?
In my island, there's no internet. This is only electricity, but no internet and anything. And I was also super poor growing up, so I didn't have the money. But when you meet the dolls, right? The trans women, they tell you where to go and how to get them. And so my trans mom, my original trans mom, her name is Caricia, whatever she said. Hi, Mom. So she told me, okay, I went to her and I told her, do you know about hormones? Because for the long time, since 12 years old, I wanted to transition at 12.
Yeah, so you knew you were trans since 12?
No, since...
fucking way before that, kindergarten.
Way before. But then I didn't know where to get the hormones. The only way to get hormone therapy was going to
a doctor.
Yes, or going to the main city in El Salvador, which is San Salvador. But I was poor.
Yeah.
And then my mom didn't support me. My family didn't support me.
So how did you come out to them as trans? Was it tough? Did you kind of you just did it?
The thing is, everybody knew who I was.
Yeah.
The thing is that they didn't want to, they
didn't want to feed into it and enable
they didn't
want to
accept it. Yeah, they didn't want to encourage it, but they knew it because whenever I was at school, my uncle came back to my grandma and oh my God, look at Hercito. He was fagging out there and he's putting the family's name down, and I'm like, no, I was not.
You're like, that wasn't me.
No, I was You're
like, that was Lola out there. That wasn't me.
I was just exposing my family. Sorry, family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to how I started transition. My trans mom told me to go to the pharmacy because in the pharmacy you don't need prescriptions in a third world country.
Back then you didn't need a prescription, huh?
No.
You just walk in and tell them what you need.
She told me, just go there and ask for a birth control shot.
Because fucking female hormones are basically birth control.
Yeah, they have progesterone.
Yes.
So at 16, after school, I went. Well, I'm a former prostitute, a street hooker, street walker.
How old did you start? If I don't, you know what I'm asking?
I started when I was 13.
Illegal?
In my country, they don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, like,
was it traumatizing to be that young and doing that though?
No, I wanted to do it because that was the only way for me to get my girly stuff. Because my family was only giving me enough money for me to go to school.
Yeah.
And to pay for my food and stuff and the boss and stuff. But then I had to sleep with men.
For like the girly stuff, they wouldn't get that first. You have to find a way to get it.
Yeah, they only get me boys.
Oh, that's like very like old school.
Yes, that's why I consider
that's very much like Pose.
Yes,
they did that to like make money for like Electra.
Yes.
She like walked the streets for like to make money for like her furs and everything. Then her mom found him and like took it all away from her.
Yes, and that's why I do consider I might be young, but I do have old school.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're like not old school at all. You're like the newer generation trannies.
That's why but I also I went through the old school path, so I do consider myself a little bit of the old school girls. A little bit conservative.
Yeah. Because all the girls that are 21 now, like they had it pretty much easy because like they were able to like watch our videos and like know and like learn from others and like they had mentors, but like even though you're young, you did it like the old school way.
Yeah. It's because my country
it's just different out there.
It's so different. Like trans, nobody exists, but I like it. I don't want people to know that about trans, like the trans movement. Like in America, everybody knows about trans and everybody is bashing the trans women. I hate that.
Yeah.
I rather the old school way because nobody is talking shit about you or saying that. Oh, that's bad.
Because it's like I feel like back then they were so scared of trannies that they just didn't want to be involved with that.
Yes, actually, what my family told me. I mean, this is for my family. They told me, we're totally fine with you being a gay boy, but we don't want you to dress up as a woman because you're gonna be ridiculous, and we don't want
it's because like if you're a gay man, at least like they still have a man, they still have like a boy, and to them it's like better than like a trans daughter because it's kind of like in their head they kind of see it as kind of like, oh my god, like a freak. And that's how some people look at trans people, as kind of like they're freaks, like they're literally boys and they're dressing up in like girls' clothes. There's something wrong with them in their head, and that's how people look at trans people sometimes, and that's the sad reality of it.
I never thought about it.
No, that's not how I look at it, but that's how like people who are like homophobic look at trannies, because they're kind of just like, you were born a boy and you're dressing up like this, like you must be like a freak, you must be like fucked up in here, but a gay boy, so I'm just like, oh well, you're just into guys, you're just like guys, but you're still a man. You're still one of us.
Yeah.
Actually,
because like I was so ignorant. I'm from an island. There's only 800 people in my island. So I didn't know about like when I came out, I told my mom, I'm a faggot. Like, just like that. I'm like, Mom, I'm a faggot. Like, because I didn't know what trans was.
Yeah.
But I knew I was, because to me, like gay people was trans people. Yeah. Because in my country, my country is so weird.
Everything is just like, it's just tied into like the LGBT.
Yeah. Everything's like just one thing.
So because you didn't have like internet and all that, like how did you finally came about to like, because you're so much more younger than I am. So like obviously like by the time that you were like 13, like the trans movement have already been like around. So it's kind of like, how did you hear about trans people? How did you like see it to be like, that's what I am?
I remember we have we make in some months in my island we have parties, right? So they bring music in groups, the bands that they sing and dance, and everybody's dancing. And the girls from Honduras weren't coming here, and they were like looking like
sickening as fuck.
I mean, they weren't like passive or anything, but they were like expressing themselves.
And they were trans, right?
They were trans, but the thing about like I say, like you have to know a person who
you have to know someone to know someone to know someone. It's one of those.
So they didn't know about the hormone therapy, but they were expressing themselves as a woman.
So in the moment they're kind of like cross-dressing but full-time.
Cross-dressing full-time.
Yeah.
And they were like using she and her, and they have girly pronouns and names. So I was like, maybe I'm one of them. And then my mom was, whenever these girls came to the island, my mom was also so welcoming to them, like, come here.
And so you saw that, and you're like, why isn't she welcoming to me?
Period. I was like, Mom, like, why not with me and just with the other? Because when I came out, my mom kicked me out of my house.
Why?
It's because she had a relationship, so her husband wasn't like, didn't really like wanted me to
she
be.
She chose him over you. Fucked up, yeah.
But now we're fine.
That's good.
Don't come for my mom now. Before I was really sad that my mom did that. She chose a man over me.
But I mean, it must have been so confusing to like see her be so welcoming towards the other girls, and then be so like negative towards you. Yeah, and it's kind of like, I'm confused. Like, I thought you were okay with this, you know?
I thought my mom was gonna accept me like right away
because of how she treated the other girls,
and she already knew I was who I was, and you know what I was doing at school. Yeah, I was like being like just girly and extra. Yeah, just I was being Lola. Myself. Yeah, I was being Lola since 7 years old. But yeah, so yeah, that's the way I transitioned. I started taking the shots. She actually, my trans mom gave me my first shot.
Were you scared? Like, at any point where you kind of just like, okay, I'm injecting this into my body. It could like work out. It could not work out. But like, this could like fuck me up. Because like, there's no like education behind it yet. There's like, you're kind of just seeing it like, oh, she's doing it. And then you're about to do it. And you're like, were you at any point where you kind of just like, should I really do this? You know, because like I'm just injecting this into my body. Yeah.
Well, what I did say to myself, side effects, do this under your own responsibility. Any side effects is your responsibility. Don't be blaming on other people. And do
that on your own risk, basically.
On your own risk. So it's like, I talked to myself and I was like, if you die, you will die happy. So just do it.
If you die a woman.
You die a woman. You will have like breasts and hormones in your body. So yes.
And that's how it was for pump too. Like, I remember I saw a post, and then they're talking about how like oh, this like pump is so bad for you, silicone is so bad, silicone injection is so bad for you. And then this girl went in it and she was like, of course it's bad for you. You're injecting a silicone into your body. But she was like, you do everything at your own risk. And like, she was like, would you rather die like with body or like just like die with like no body? And I'm kind of, she was saying like she's gonna die with body regardless. And like, I was like, that's so true. Like, we're gonna die regardless. And like, do you wanna go out, you know, with the body? Like, bury me fucking face down, let my ass do the talking, you know? Like,
yes.
After getting pumped, like I was telling you earlier, like I would keep my pump forever. Like, if I got sick and then a doctor said, your pump's killing you, we need to remove it, I'd go, no. How many days do I have left?
Period.
30? I'm gonna fucking do everything I can in 30 days because I'm not getting my ass out. Like, after getting it, it's a life-changing experience. I was telling you this earlier too. Like, it's so like, you can just like the freedom to like wear whatever you want and like not have to feel like insecure about like anything. And like, I always like, before like when I got pumped, my back was like my biggest insecurity. I feel like I looked so big up here, and then I went in, and I just felt so awkward when people were like behind me because I was like, do I look like a pizza right now?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I always hated like the people behind. I'm like, I always hated like behind me because like I know I look like a fucking quarterback back there, you know? Yeah. And so now that I got pumped, I'm like, oh honey, look behind me all you want. Like the hourglass is there. Yeah. So like the pump changed my life, and like it's one of the like, I feel like body is just like the best surgery ever because like if you can get a BBL, do it. If you can get pumped, I'm not gonna say do it, but like get pumped, like get some body somehow, you know?
It's like your wrist, like it's your
own risk, of course,
at your own risk, But the thing about me, like I want to get pumped. I'm a Latina
woman. And when we first met,
you
were telling me about this.
That was the first thing I told you. Like, oh, can I touch your pump?
And I was like, go grab it, and you were like, grab it, and I was like, grab it, like grab it, like fucking grab it. Yeah.
You were like, grab it, like this.
And I was like, do you feel it here? Do you feel it here? Like this is where it's at. Like feel it there.
And I'm like, oh my god, but I'm always like watching everybody. Like everybody got the body. Like whenever I'm going out with my friends, body, yaddy. I'm just face.
Everybody gets pumped. Because like the thing with pumps, I'm just like, they know the risk, but they rather have the body than no body at all. And it's kind of like here's how I saw it. I'm just like, pump hurts only in the 1 hour and 40 minutes that you're getting it done. But if you sit through that, you're gonna have body for the rest of your life.
I know. And the thing, I'm getting pumped for sure. I don't know when, but like, but I've been overthinking. It's been like 2 years already on my head. I want to do it. I'm a Latina, and I don't want to, like, in the future when I'm able to go to my country, if I'm able to ever, or I want to travel more, and I know that my body, I always get clocked by my body. Like, people be telling me. One time I was in the park, and these like handsome black guys were like talking to me, and they were like, "You're a guy, right?" And I was like, "Why?"
Why do you want to know? Who's
like,
asking?
And he was like, "Because your legs are too skinny."
I want skinny legs.
And I'm like, well, yes, I am. Because I always tell everybody I'm transgender, because I'd rather people to know I'm transgender, because I don't like coming out to guys. I don't like rejection. I don't like that. So yeah.
So how do you deal with rejection when, like, you tell them, they're like, "Oh, I'm not about that"?
Well, where's the next one?
Yeah, because you don't know them yet. But it's like when you get to know them and you like them, and then you get rejected, that's when it's like it hurts.
Yeah, but that's why I say it like at the first, like the first moment. I'm like,
I used to be like that. And then later, that was me. And then later I was like, you know what? Let me just go out without telling this guy just one time. And the way that this man treated me was like phenomenal. And I was like, is this how cis girls get treated? Is this how women are supposed to be treated? And so I was like, maybe it's just him. So I did it again with a different man. Same thing. They treat you to like absolute extent like a princess. And I was like, oh my God, like when they know you're a tranny, they don't care about all that. They just want to get straight to like their curiosity.
Sex,
yeah. But when they don't know that you're trans and they think that you're like a biological woman, they're going to do everything they can to get in between your legs because like they want pussy. And so like I was like, wait, like I hold the power right now. And so like I'll just like, I won't tell them tea, and I'll just go on like all these dates. I'll meet their friends. And because like for me, it's kind of like, I want to see how far I can go until I get clocked, you know? I want to see how passable I really am. And it's so fucking dangerous. But like you were saying earlier, I only know the passable life, you know? Like that's all I ever known. And so it's kind of like, for me, it's like nothing to me. It's because that's all I grew up. I grew up really passable. Yeah. I grew up like only being a passable bitch. And so getting clocked is like never like a thought in my head. And then like, it's just the way that guys treat you is just like amazing. And like I was telling you earlier, I was like, you are so passable. When I met you, I was stunned. Like when I met you, I was like, this bitch looks like a woman. She's short like a woman, and she fucking sounds like a woman. And I was like,
do I really?
Yes. And I was like, is this like girl really trans? But then we're at a tea award, so I was like, of course she is. Like she's telling me about like how she's like wants to get pumped.
Girl, let me tell you what happened at the TS. Actually, I was taking a lot of pictures with this Filipina girl, and she's cis.
But I thought she was a tranny.
And I'm like, bitch, you're so fish.
She's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, Swedish
like,
fish?
And I was like, you're so fish, you're so soft, you're so feminine, mi amor. Like, I work at HSF, they're gonna hire you, you're gonna kill it. And then she followed me. The next day, I'm like, and I saw Twitter, and I'm like, oh my God, she has a pussy.
She's post up. Oh my God, wow. Who'd you go
to? No, but then I saw that she was like on the straight side, so I'm like, wow.
She was a cis girl.
I really thought she was like one of the most passable women I ever know.
So was it because like she was at the Tia Award, or was it because something about her looked really tranny?
Only because of the Tia Award.
Okay, because I know some cis girls where like they do a lot to their face, and you're like, well, that has to be a tranny.
No, she was like really, like I said, like really light makeup, really fishy, like non-clocky.
And so you're like, oh, she's at a Tia Award. She's definitely a tranny.
Yes, she is definitely a tranny.
She's a cis girl. So, under your nose the whole entire time.
Yeah, so then she wasn't a tranny, and I was like so shocked. So I'm like, and then I was treating her as a tranny, and then
the whole time she's like, oh God, Lola's really nice to me.
And then I felt so bad, and I'm like, oh my God, I call her a tranny. So I call her like,
you called her a fucking tranny?
Because I call the girls like, you know, we're trannies, you know, like I say the tranny, the T word all the time. And you know, with the girls, like we can say it, but gay boys do not say it.
How do you feel when like straight guys say it?
Straight guys, I don't think they should say it.
Like, okay, I feel it's kind of like the intentions behind it. Like, how do you feel when a straight guy is kind of just like, oh, like I met this tranny, Like, how does that make you? Does that make you feel uncomfortable when you just like, oh, like I met this tranny, oh, I hung out with this tranny?
I get more uncomfortable by female than tranny. I feel like tranny is more cute. Like, oh yeah, I'm a tranny.
Because some people are kind of like the word tranny they hear, they're kind of like no.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like there could be a guy being like, oh, you're a fucking tranny. Yeah. And there could be guys saying, oh no, I just hung out with the tranny. Oh yeah, she's a tranny.
Just a tranny.
So like, how do you, like? There's two different tones. Like, does that bother you at all?
I honestly don't like being called a tranny by a man or by somebody who is not a transsexual.
Even a gay person.
Even a gay person.
Even in the community, you don't like it.
Even a gay person, I don't like it because I don't think it's right. But people still do it. Yeah. But I just ignore it. Like, I don't pay too much attention to it. It's like, okay, you call me a tranny. Okay, what's next? I'm already drunk. I'm not gonna like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna like, like ruin my mood just because you call me a tranny. Yeah. But like before, when I used to work at McDonald's, I was being called a tranny all the time.
Why?
Because I was the mean one. I was, you can be rude to the customer and stuff, and I was like, oh, you stick your fucking fries. And with Latin people, I was like, I don't speak Spanish. Just like, can you hear my accent? No.
I love your accent so much. Like when I first heard it, I was like, her accent is so cute because like it's very Sofia Vergara. It's kind of like, I don't know
like
what
South
it is.
American, yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but it's so cute. I just want to listen to this bitch talk all day.
Thank you.
I love it. I
love talking. And before I got here, I was like, I'm not gonna smoke, so I can talk and like,
I'm so happy because now we're gonna ramble for like hours. But so you do adult work. You're in porn.
Yes.
How did you get into that? And like, how did you prepare yourself to get into porn and kind of just like putting yourself out there on the internet like that? And like, was it scary for you at first to like do that?
Actually, how I got into porn, when I got here to America, I was only 17, and I didn't have friends, I didn't have people, I didn't know anyone, I only knew my family. So what I did was I got on Grindr.
Oh, I love Grindr. Grindr's the best app ever, you guys.
So I got on Grindr, and Bollywood texted me for Groovy.
Who?
Bollywood.
Is he like one of the guys?
He's one of the
directors
for Groovy, yeah. He's one of the LA boys, yeah.
Okay.
So he texted me and he was like, "You're so beautiful."
He's like on Grindr, like scouting girls.
Yeah, recruiting them. He was doing it. I mean, thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be Lola Morena if you didn't text me at first.
Yeah.
But when I was on Grindr when I was underage. Fucking people underage. I don't know. Well, sorry, I did it.
No, I was the same way. I was in high school at 17. Fucking guys that are 30.
Yeah, I was like skipping my last class and like going to fuck.
Bitch, me too. Wow, we're the same.
I love it.
That was me.
So I was doing that. So Body told me like, you want to choose with us, and I told him. But back then I didn't have papers, and I was also underage. So I didn't want to be in porn because I didn't have surgery. I felt like I'm gonna look like I was super possible always, but I didn't have the look that I wanted to put myself out, and I didn't want people to be like judging me because I'm like pretty sensitive sometimes. Depends on the person, but yeah. So I was like, I don't want to do it, but then he was always texting me. He gave me his number, and then COVID happened.
Fucking COVID.
So I was working at taqueria. I wanted to be the girl, the fishy, have a normal life. Don't want to be a porn star. I don't want to leave. I don't want to do escort or nothing, right?
Yeah.
But then I lost my job, and I was doing nothing. I was losing money. We had to pay rent. We were in such a bad situation. So I can literally say porn saved my life.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, the thing of sex work is it's kind of like, it's so like, it's so old school, but there's always someone out there looking for sex.
Yes.
And like escorting.
Yes.
Like you will always, like, there will always be money to be made.
Yeah.
Porn, there's always scenes to be shot because people like to jack off at home. So like sex work is so like, it's lucrative, but like it's so like, you can always count on it to come through, and like it pays so well, and it's amazing because like now we have OnlyFans.
I love it.
Where like everyone can become like self-employed.
I'm the biggest cam in OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Subscribe.
You have all the new footage on OnlyFans. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I have so many things.
Yeah, you just released like 5 like videos.
So many videos.
So you guys, subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Subscribe,
she just released so much shit.
Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, baby. So I got into like, I shoot my first scene with Groovy Girls.
And were you nervous? Because you're like, oh my god, this is gonna be on the internet. I have no surgery.
No, what happened was that I had boobs.
Oh, so you got your boobs before you fucking.
And I want to say I did my boobs through insurance. So
a lot of girls do through insurance. Good job.
I did my boobs through insurance because I was like a cat. You put it in a plastic bag and you just throw it in a mountain, and then the cat comes out and the cat doesn't know where she is. Yeah. So that was my situation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you went from a foreign country to the U.S.
Yeah. So and I got my
with
boobs.
No papers and everything. So it's
no
kind
papers,
of like it's way harder.
I went across the border. Yes, I have them. You know, I went through Mexico. They put me like in a suitcase because I was
shut the fuck up. Oh my god, you're so juicy.
I was like, and I was taking pictures in the suitcase. I was like living, you know, my immigrant experience because I was
my immigrant experience. I'm fucking dead
because I everything that I have done in my life, I do it because I only want the experience of it. So yeah. So I started shooting with Groovy, but before then I asked my mom, how will you feel? And my mom was like, it's your life. I love you. I want you to know that I support you in whatever you do, because you know she changed so much, and she's like.
So like, how long did it take until your mom finally like came around and accepted you?
It took 2 years for my mom to Okay. So like when she left, when she had problem with her husband, so I went back to my mom's, but I didn't really like living with my mom because I didn't really like the island. Yeah. I like living, in the city. In the city, I like because that's where I get my hormones. That's where I do stuff. So that's why I did it. So I asked her, and she was like, "I'm totally fine with it. I mean, you're the one who's gonna be out there." But so that was the only thing that I needed to her because that was the only person that I care about.
Yeah. And like, how did it feel to like? Being younger and seeing how like she didn't accept you, and then now hearing that, did that make you feel like, oh my god?
I also understand that transitioning is not just the girl; it's the whole family that goes through the same process with you.
Of course, yeah.
And I feel like my family started accepting me because I was possible. Because if I wasn't possible, I don't think they would have accepted me because they're Christian. So it's really hard for because
that
of
would
their
make
religion.
sense for a lot of people too. Like they accept it because like, you know what, like. And her kind of like, she doesn't look that much of a freak, like people don't really know, because that's how my parents were at first too, because like they're very kind of like they would always like when I was transitioning, they would tell me like oh like don't do this like that person, like oh don't do that, like see that, like don't do that, because like they wanted to like sculpt me into like a certain way to fit like their idea of like trans. And then
that's why you're so fish, because
well, I mean, thank you, but like that's how they were. Like they're like, don't do that, don't walk like that, like don't talk like this, don't say that, and like it was like don't drag your words like that, don't shake your hips too much when you walk, like things like that. Like they were like so nitpicky because like they saw other trans girls and they'd be like, I know that's a tranny because of this, so don't do that. And so like they would always like watch me and how I move, and I would have to like be on my A game. Even as a tranny, I was on my A game to make sure like I was like passable enough for them to where like they wouldn't like get people talking about me being trans and stuff.
Especially family, like I feel like
because you're representing them, so it's kind of like they're more anal about certain things. And like it's annoying because like it's kind of like even though they're letting you be yourself, they're not letting you be yourself. No,
they're not. I feel like that's why that's how my family like started accepting me, because when I started hormones, like I didn't dress up as a girl until the 3rd year. Oh. So I started taking the hormone shots, but I was like dressing up as a gay boy. Okay. But then I got to the point.
That's kind of cute because you're like building your body underneath and no one had no idea.
So I got to the point where people thought I was a lesbian.
Because you had boobs, right?
Because I had the little boobs. I have, I was like really soft. I had my high cheekbones, and I was like,
you're becoming a woman.
I was becoming a woman. You don't have to be pretty to be a woman. But I was like, I was becoming a woman, so people started calling me her.
Because you're looking the part.
Yeah, so
you look the part. So
and I really like it. And then when people started saying. Actually, when I moved here, that's when I started dressing up as a woman. I used to
You felt more freedom here, huh?
Yeah, I used to dress up, but barely. You know, when I used to go with my friends, with the dolls, and then put the clothes away when I go.
That was literally
home.
me.
Yeah.
You're literally me. Like I would like leave the house as a boy and have like a bag of like all my makeup, my hair, and everything. I may like have my dad drop me off at the mall. I go to the family restroom and just like do my makeup, do my hair, and then live my life at the mall. And as a girl, later when they come to pick me up, I take it all off.
That's what I actually did. But what I did was like, because the school was super far away from my parents, from my grandparents. So before I get to my grandparents' house, my grandparents have a lot of land. So I went to the land, and in the tree there was a hole, and I put my clothes in the hole.
I did the bushes. I put it in the bushes.
In the bushes, yeah. That's what I did.
Because no one's going to go in the bush, you know?
As crazy as it is,
it went in the bush?
My grandma found it.
Oh my God.
She burned it.
Oh.
And I was like, and she was like, do you know whose is this? Because I found it out there. She knew it was mine though.
She wanted you to see.
And I'm like, I'm gonna burn it because like it's just trash in our land. Like we don't want that. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. She knew it wasn't me, and she burned it in front of me. And she
wanted you to see that.
And she's like, oh, you know, like, why is people throwing stuff out there?
She knew what the hell she was
doing.
She
knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
I love my grandma. I love my family.
But now you have a good relationship with your family then,
yeah,
right? That's beautiful.
Now
I love that.
do.
Everything turned out fine, yeah.
But like I said, like, you know, like, that your family transitions with you. Mm-hmm. And once you're like, good looking, I feel like you have the pretty privilege.
You really do, because what are they going to say now?
Yeah,
you have like men kissing your ass, like you have like everything. Like, what are they gonna do?
I'm the pretty woman from the family.
And it's funny because you were born a boy, and it's kind of like that is like that's the ironic, like that's the irony of it all. And it's kind of like the dolls just always look. No,
I feel like it's always the dolls looking better than the fishes. Like,
well, it's because like I interviewed Trisha, and then she said this one thing that I always remember, and she was like, for trans girls. Like for cis girls, they do their makeup, they get ready for Valentine's Day once a year.
Yeah.
But for trannies, they do it every day. Every day is Valentine's Day. Every single day they're getting ready. They're getting dolled up. They're doing the most. And it's kind of like, that's because like we didn't have that growing up. And so like now that we have that privilege, we're going to take advantage of it and just really take it and like live with it. Because as a kid, we saw that, but we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so like now that we can, we're going to fucking do it every day. And that's why trans girls are always, if cis girls put in as much effort as trans girls did, they'd be sickening. But because they were born with that.
Actually, when a girl do so much, like a cis girl do a lot of things, they ask her if she's trans or something.
You know why? Right? It's the saying, if she's too good to be true, she is a man. Like if she's too hot, she's a man. Like if she's too hot, she must be a man. Because like it's like a thing. Like trannies are hot. Trannies are always hotter than women. That's why we have a reputation where it's kind of like we're too hot. And if we're too hot, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's a suspicion behind it.
Yeah.
You have to be a boy. And so when a cis girl looks way too good, she has to be a guy because everyone knows trans girls are the hottest.
Femininity. They connect femininity with transgender women, right? And pretty women with trannies.
Even though like cis girls are like they're born with that, trans girls really take the femininity and they really like fucking take it to the extreme. Because they were stripped from that growing up. Yeah. And cis girls, they just kind of like, oh, I had that, so I'm just gonna wear mascara and chapstick and call it a day. But they don't appreciate the femininity that goes into being a woman that trans girls do. Not going into being a woman, looking like a woman, must I say? Yeah. The looks-wise aspect of it. But like trans girls just take the ideal of like a woman and they just like make it look so feminine, you know? And like you're right, men associate that to trannies because because trannies do the most when it comes to femininity. Yeah,
because like if you go to Colombia, if you go to Medellin, Colombian, all the the cis girls and the women, you know, like cis women, they're all searched.
Yeah,
like everybody in Colombia, especially Medellin, everybody looks trans.
Yeah,
but they're not,
and it's like a look that it's kind of like I feel like the trans people started because like. In their head, they were trying to look feminine. They're trying to look like a woman, and they think that this is what women looks like. Yeah. And then they ended up doing too much, and they look too hot. And so now, like, the girls are like, oh, I'm seeing the attention they're getting, so I'm going to look like that, too. And then it's kind of like trans women are kind of like the trendsetter.
Embracing.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I think it's so cute, and I think it's like, I love it. I love it so much.
I love it too. I love like women. I love like femininity because you know, like when I look up to people is the people that inspires me. A lot of like the women that inspires me is my mom. I used to watch her do her makeup. And my mom was like pretty like, you know, like party girl before. because she had me when she was like 16. So I grew up with her. So I used to go parties with her. And then I always like love like just watching my
glamour.
Mom, the glamour and being just herself and being so feminine. I was like, I want to be like my mom. And my mom was getting a lot of male attention.
And so like you saw that and you're kind of like, I want that. I like that. You know? So it's kind of like, and now you have that and you like work towards that. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you for it. Because like your story is kind of just like, it was like a third, like a fucking island. Yeah. Like you didn't have it easy like most girls do. Like a lot of girls here, they're kind of just like, they do it younger, but then like that's easy. They order online, they go to the doctor and they get it done. But like you did it the hard way. Like there was no internet. You had to like find out these like resources yourself. And
you gotta finance yourself too, because my mom wasn't buying me hormones. My grandparents weren't buying me hormones. You have to do everything
yourself at like a young ass kid. Yeah. And so that's like impressive. And now you came to America and made a name for yourself because now you're like a big porn star.
I thought like, but I told Buddy, I'm like, if I go into porn, I want to be on all the websites. Like I talked to myself too. I was like, if I'm going to be in porn, I'm going to go all the way.
Go big or go home, of course.
You're already out there. You had to make it to Brazzers. I made it to Brazzers. I'm
Good job. Proud of you. Yeah.
I did transangels. I did, I have done everything almost. So I done everything, but I love transangels.
I mean, like the scenes you did with Trans Angels were really like beautiful. I've seen like a few and they're like gorgeous. I saw the one where you're kind of like a god, like a goddess or something.
Yes,
that was fun. That was really cute. But so like your first scene, were you nervous? You're kind of just like, okay, this is gonna be internet. This is gonna be on the internet.
I was so excited, girl. Like
you're excited. Okay,
I was
perfect.
Like, I was being so extra. I'm like, yes. The guy, the guy. Sometimes you don't like the guys, that they give you. But I'm like, girl, this is work. Do what you have to do. Make him come. Be a savage.
You're acting.
You're acting. So I was like I was like, yes, just give it to me. I love it. I was being so extra. And everybody loved that. And
they do, because like it's like that porn acting where it's like embellished. Yes. It's kind of like you're doing the most. Yes. Like it's it's not real, because like the way that this bitch is acting, it's like she's fucking, that's not fucking real, but like it's hot.
And I also used to watch a lot of telenovelas when I was little.
Oh my god! So that kind of just like that just like feeds into like the persona of the dramatics.
I wanted to be like like a villain from a telenovela actually.
And so you were kind of like in your own little telenovela, but for porn.
Of course, that's why I like porn. Actually, I like Trans Angels because it's not just somebody just turning off a camera and fucking in front of a camera. That's why I don't like collaborating, because
content.
I make like trade content, because it's like that's not my brand. I like when there's acting involved. So if you want to collab with me, you have to bring something, a new idea.
You're worth.
Really cute. Yes,
you're worth more than just fucking in front of an iPhone.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't think that's work. I don't think that's. Well, I mean, people likes to do that. I mean,
because they're just in it for the wrong reasons. Like they're in it for kind of just like to fuck other people and like make money from it. But like you're in it for kind of like the art behind it, the like acting behind it, the cinematography behind it. Like you're in it for like all those little things. And like to you, I feel like when you do porn, sex is the last thing you're thinking about.
Right.
Like I don't think you go into porn being like, oh, I can't wait to fuck this person. And you go into porn like, I can't wait to act. I can't wait to like be dramatic. I can't wait to do that. Like you care more about those little things, more than kind of just like, I can't wait to get fucked, you know?
And you get so excited because he's like,
you're passionate.
It's different scenes have different themes. So it's like, oh my god, what's gonna be the next scene about? And before when they send me the script, I go through it, I do my research, and like they say, because I'm Latina, sometimes I don't know how to translate my emotions, so I go watch videos and learn how to act like this type of way. Like I'm not a shy girl, but they want me to act like a shy girl. So I'm like, educate yourself. What are the poses? Like super cute and everything. So yeah, I do like that, the acting part of it.
So I love that.
And also like in porn, they make you feel like a little star. I'm coming from nowhere, and like they like, okay, I got you your flight, I got you your food, I got you your
princess
hotel.
treatment. They cater to you,
yeah, and then
you are their star.
And so when I get on set, I'm like, okay, Lola, the snacks are here, your food is here, you want to try your wardrobe, makeup is ready, come over here. And
it's like a celebrity.
Yes, and then I love feeling like a celebrity,
especially because like you came from that past and then now this. It's kind of like you're like, fuck yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
so I get that. Yeah.
So I just love doing porn. Actually, I love the acting. I love what I do. I put a lot of like heart and effort into it.
Do you ever kind of like think to yourself like, okay, this is gonna like be like following me forever? Like this is gonna follow me forever. Like me on the internet doing porn, sex work, like that's gonna follow me forever.
I honestly don't care because I mean
that's a beautiful thing because a lot of people like they can't get to that part because like they're so nervous of like what will people think. This is gonna be following me forever. Like what if I want like a regular job? What if I want to have like a boyfriend? This is gonna be this is gonna be like the back of me all the time. So like the fact that you don't care and like, you don't let it bother you, that's a good thing because it only pushes you to excel more in your porn career, and I love that.
But I feel like once you're out there in porn and men sees you, and there's a lot of men who you become their dream girl just by being in porn. So that's a potential husband. So you know where you don't have to worry about working, you don't have to worry about doing all those things. So yeah.
You never escorted, did you?
I have.
But like in America, did you ever like escorted kind of just like post an ad?
I did.
And how was that?
Amazing.
How did you like escorting versus doing porn?
Escorting can be annoying sometimes. I don't the thing I don't like about escorting is that you have to deal with the guys.
Oh, of course.
And they want to tell you I'm like how much you charge? 500, and they're like I have 100.
They want to lowball you,
and then they're like I have $40. I'm like, dude,
and it's insulting.
It's insulting, it's stressful, but the money is so easy and fast.
So easy.
I used to see like 4 guys and they make, it was so much money that I never had before, and I was so excited. I was buying so much. I was like buying me stuff and like my girly stuff, everything that I wanted. And I feel like sex work has helped me become the woman that I am. So
it helped me a lot. Are you kidding? Like YouTube was fun enough, but sex work really like pushed me to like be able to like make my own money, to finally move out, to kind of just like do all these things that I never thought I could do, because like fast money comes and it's kind of like, oh my God, it's like, oh my God, my bill's coming up, take 1 client. My rent's coming up, take 4 clients. Like that, kind of just like, and when your mindset becomes of just kind of like, these are my bills, divide that into like per client, how many do I need to see? And then when you make that much, you're like, I need to see more. You have all that money to spend and just do nothing with, you know? So it's kind of like, that's how my logic was. I was kind of just like, that's a client, car payment, client, insurance, client, like client.
Yeah,
and like,
I love that.
Fast money comes, and it's like, but the money comes fast, money goes fast too.
It goes hella fast, because looking like this is not cheap.
Yes, and on top of that, kind of just like, when you're in an industry where like your payment is kind of like relying on your looks, you kind of have to think long term, like, okay, what am I gonna do when I get old? And that's the scary part, you know?
Well, me, I have a plan before I started on porn, because escorting and porn is so like you get a lot of money, hella money, like tons of money.
Sex work.
So what I'm doing, like I'm saving for my future.
That's good. That's
I'm
really
building
good.
a house for myself, because I don't want to be that tranny without a house, you know. I don't want to depend on men. I'm building my house. I'm buying boats.
That's good, because a lot of trainees, they love like depending on a man.
And that's fine, you know, if they like that lifestyle. But I have seen the elder transgender women from my country, and I'm like, I don't want to get to the point where I had to keep working, because like when you get older, there will always want to go back to the younger girls.
Of course, you know?
So that's
time's gonna be running out soon, you know. So it's kind of like you're like in like an hourglass in a way. Like your time's running out. You have like this short window to make this much money.
It's like 5 years. You don't have that much. Like your prime, even like me right now, in 5 years, people's not gonna want to watch me again. They want to watch the new girls.
Yes, because there's always gonna be a hotter bitch, hotter younger girl.
And what I love the most is that the newer the generation is, the more passable they are.
I noticed that. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like transitioning at like 12 and 11. Like, they're so fish. Their voice and everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how are you just so cunty at like this age?
And I cannot even clock a girl like that. The ones that transition pretty earlier, like I cannot tell which one of them is trans. And I love that. I'm like, bitch, you're so fucking lucky. I'm like, I wish I did that. I wish I had my hormone shots at 12.
But like, you transition really young too, because you're only 21. So like, you kind of basically are like you're in their generation as well. Do you know what I
I
mean?
wanted to be the youngest trans woman in my country, though. You know,
You kind of were, because you did it at 15.
No, because there was girls doing it at 12.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm a bad influence, but when you're on the streets, there's always like 12 years old. Like I was like 15. They were like 13, 12.
Yeah.
They wanted to be women. You're like, baby, you want breasts? You want this? Like, get hormones. Get hormone shots. I'll help you because.
I mean, at least you were doing that for them, because like it must be tough for them to like want to do this and then not have anyone to like help them and guide them. So because you went through it yourself, like just even though it's kind of like not the best thing to do, because like you're kind of just like you don't know anything behind like what you're recommending, but it's the fact that of like you just kind of like navigating them in a certain direction rather than just them being clueless, running around like chickens with their head cuts off, you know.
But one thing I want to say so people don't come for me is birth control shots. Cisgender women are taking them, so of course it's not gonna be like I was like, okay, people like women. Mm-hmm. They're not getting sick, and they're getting the same shots that I'm taking. So, but I'm doing it twice a month though.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like desperate times come to desperate measures, and like in that moment, I'm just like, I don't think anyone would come for you for like taking like birth control shots, because like any other girl would have done the same thing. If you were on an island and like you were in your shoes, and you knew like the only way to get like female hormones was to take like birth control, you would fucking do it. And don't even sit here and say like I wouldn't, because you totally would. Like if you wanted to be a woman that bad and you wanted to change your life, shit, I would fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like I wanted body so bad I got pumped. So it's kind of like it's no different than just being there being like I want to be a woman so bad I'm gonna fucking do it. Like you kind of just gotta do it. And like if you see your friends doing it and the girls doing it and they look fine, why wouldn't you do it? So it's kind of like at the time you didn't have the right resources to do it the right way, but like you still got it done. You still fucking did it.
I did.
You know?
And the thing about me is because I had a lot of dysphoria before. So and I was, you know, the younger you start is the best, the better, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was telling these girls like get it if you're sure who you are. If you're not, like don't get it. But the thing to me was really shocking because I'm a trans woman. This is my reality. And I don't understand people who aren't trans and who like, how the fuck are you gonna get confused about your gender identity? And like that's a lot, you know, like you're either a man or a woman in my country. Because the thing about me is like in my country everybody's trying to kill the dolls.
Oh my god,
so
wow.
You had to be passable in order to not get killed.
To survive, basically.
To survive, yes. And that's something I think about here in America because the dolls are not getting killed. Once you bitch, you're getting killed. And you had to pass in order to live. And I feel like in America is so open. I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's just like you grew up in like a different like way.
Yeah.
And so coming here, you're like, oh wow, it's way different than how it is back home.
Way different, actually.
Being in porn.
Yes.
Is there ever a time? Because I've talked to a lot of porn stars. I've interviewed a lot of them, trans people, and like your experiences on set. Like, what is that like?
Sometimes. Well, I have really good experience. I have awful experience also.
So what are your scene partners? Are they mainly like gay porn stars? Like what are they?
I think they're straight.
They're straight?
Like I said, like in America you never know. Like people,
you never really know these days.
They look like men, but then you look at their Twitter, they're fucking men, but then in reality they like women. So it's confusing.
Because for me, I've seen a lot of like trans porn where like a lot of the male, it's all gay men. Yeah.
No, but actually, if you also like not have noticed something that a lot of the gay content creators are straight men.
Gay for pay.
Gay for pay, yes.
My ex was a gay for pay.
I work with your ex.
That's how I know of you. So like, we'll give a little backstory. So basically, in October, little Alpha Wolfie flew out to Vegas to shoot a scene. He told me it was a gay scene. He told me I'm shooting a gay scene out there. And then later, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And then later, in December, it came out. And I was like, when did you shoot this? And I put two together. I was like, wait a minute, that haircut was a haircut that I gave you in October. That means you're in that video, you had that haircut. It's specific. You shot this in October before you flew out to Vegas. And then he owned up to everything. And then he was like, yeah, I did. And I got so fucking mad. And it was just like a lot. But like, yeah. And then later, that's how I knew of you. And then later when I met you at the T Award, and this is the one thing that I will like praise her for, was because at the T Award, the Trans Erotica Awards, like all the trans porn stars, out of all the girls that my ex has like filmed and shot with, she was the only one that came up to me and like addressed it. Like she came up to me and she was like, Elena, like my name is Lola. I want to talk to you about this scene that I shot with like your boyfriend. This is what really happened on set. She was like, I was a bitch to him the whole time. She was like, I didn't give him my time of day. I was calling him a bottom the whole time. And she was like, she was telling me like, I want you to know like nothing like happened off camera. Like it was really professional. She was like, I didn't talk to him at all. But like, it's the fact that like you came up to me without even knowing me. Like for all, like if I was like a dumb person, for all we know, you could have come up to me and I hated you for it. You know, I could have been like, fuck her. She fucked my man, fuck her.
Especially, you know, because trannies are cuckoo, so.
They don't understand that it's never the girl's fault. Like, you just went there for work, you know? But, like, that was, like, really bold of you because you didn't know, like, how I felt. I could have hated you for that, you know?
I mean,
but, like, you went up to me anyways. And, like, the next day I was talking to Brittany about it and I was like, I have a lot of respect for Lola for doing that because, like, out of all the girls there that he worked with, none of them said anything. They came up to him, saying hi to him the whole time. Like, just, I'm, like, standing there. I'm like, bitch, you know who the fuck I am. Like, you watched me when you were a fucking boy. Like, you know who the fuck I am. Like, you know who the fuck I am, bitch. Like, you're gonna sit here and act brand new? Like, come on, bitch. Let's not do that. And you came up to me and you said hi to me. You didn't even talk to my man. You just fucking ignored him and you just fucking addressed everything to me. And, like, that was so respectful.
And when I say hi, he got into our conversations.
Because he was scared, probably.
He was scared. But then I'm like, what are you scared for? Like, I was the meanest bitch to you.
And then later you told me something, and I forgot what it was. But I remember at the party, I brought it up to him. I was like, oh, Lola just told me this, and I didn't know about that. And then he was like, okay, we don't need to talk about it now. We're at the party. Like, let's not talk about it now. And I was like, I can just go grab her real quick. We can talk about it right now. Like, I can just grab her and see what she said. Like, she just said I forgot. But like, I need to go grab her real quick. And he was like, no, we need to do that right now. So I feel like something else happened. And then because we're at a party, I never really got to talk to you about it. And so it's kind of like, I'm excited to hear what you have to say. You know, like,
actually, well, that day it was a Christmas theme. So yeah, it was for Transangels, and I think I got requested. I think I got requested by him.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So we did the scene. I was there. But you know, he was like all over, you know, and stuff like that. But I also have a boyfriend. So, you know, I have my boyfriend. So I try to be the most professional person that I can on set. So I was telling him because I thought he was gay. I didn't know he was like
gay, like straight.
I didn't know he was straight, and I'm like, I just don't like gay. I don't like bottoms. I'm like, they're a gay man, and because I really thought he was gay, and I didn't know he was dating you either. So, but he was like doing drugs.
What kind of drugs?
I don't.
Did you see him do the drugs?
He went to the bathroom. So he did it, and he was shaking, and then he couldn't focus because he got to take like 3-4 Trimax shots. Yeah. Because he wasn't working.
Oh my god.
So, like everybody, like the scene, I got hurt a little bit because he got to take the shot first, and then he was hard for like 3 minutes and then went down.
Trimax keeps you hard for a long time.
But then when you're like have something in your system, because I don't try Trimax. I have the experience with Trimax. Yeah. So but then he couldn't get hard, and it was annoying because I was like we're gonna finish so fast and so quick. Everything's gonna be so fun, and I'm gonna go home and I need to see my man, and no. But then we finished like around 9. Because we started like around 11 and we finished around
like an
9.
all-day shoot.
It was a whole day shoot because of the erection part, and it was a lot of like softness because of that. Yeah,
so like, was he like? I know like his drug of choice, like he always wanted to do like ketamine and stuff. Like, so he was just shaking.
He was shaking. He was talking fast because I done drugs. I did drugs because my family told me not to. I used to do meth and I used to do.
Oh damn! You look good, bitch. Fuck.
Thank you.
Would have never suspected that one.
So I used to do a lot of drugs.
So you're familiar with like the behavior.
I'm familiar. I'm so familiar with the behavior. Yeah. So I knew it, and I'm like, he is talking too fast. He's moving too fast, like Adderall or I don't know, like.
I know he was taking a lot of Adderall.
But maybe that but Adderall is like meth. Like people want to say, like, oh, you know, it's so nice. I'm still meth.
Yeah.
It's all beyond.
I know when he did Adderall, it was fucking with his erection and he couldn't come because like the Adderall would make it hard for him to come.
He couldn't come with me either.
He had to like jack off, huh?
He got a jerk off for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when he was gonna come, he shoved it inside and there was no lube and it hurt so bad, girl. And I was like, okay, now he's coming. We're done with the scene. And then like he came. We were done, but I was like, I actually told like that I didn't want to work with him again, only because I like easy work. I don't like like a man who is going to say like you be ready with your erection, because me as a woman, as a trans woman, I take hormones.
You come to set, you're ready.
I barely get hard, but look at me hard now. So it's like, can you just do it?
Yeah.
Why so hard? And since you're a porn star, so I thought it'll be a better experience.
Like an easy.
But it's also like people sometimes have a bad day. So I was like, I'm just making excuses. Sometimes I'm not too mean to people. I'm like, okay, maybe they're just having a bad day.
Benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still getting paid, so it's good.
Yeah, and then later after that, he shot like another scene with like 2 other trans girls in Vegas.
No, that was the next day.
Yes, because he went out there and he told me it was just all for gay stuff, but it was like he went out there for all trans stuff.
Yeah.
And then later, the next day, he felt really guilty for what he did, and so he got really, really drunk, and then he called me on the phone and started yelling at me, and like trying to get me to break up with him, because he felt so guilty and he couldn't handle it. And so he was he called me on the phone. He was like cussing at me, calling me all these names, just saying the most meanest things ever. And then later, me and him were arguing on the phone for like 3 hours. And then later, I blocked him on everything. And then he broke up with me. And the next morning, he like felt so shitty about it. He like was like, kind of like, take me back, this and that. And he's like crying and like, of course I took him back because the kids wanted me to, but I was kind of just like, oh my god, like why did you get drunk like this and like say all these mean things? But like it's because like he felt so guilty for like what he just did, and he was like, oh my god.
I feel like when you drink, your real personality comes out.
Demons, I call them demons. Like you have like demons, that things that you kind of just like are handling things, and then like when you drink, the alcohol kind of lower your guard, and then those things come out. And like whenever he drinks, he was always like a mess, and I was like, I didn't want to be a part of that, because like I was the hit of it. It always got projected onto me, you know? So I was kind of like, no. But yeah, that's that.
So yeah, well, if you want to work with me, request me. So I'm open.
I love that.
Because I'm all about my money. That's the thing. Like, I want people to understand that people think I don't enjoy the, like, when we're fucking on set, like, the positions are the most uncomfortable.
They're having the most weirdest positions. I know that. Like, I know that for a fact.
You gotta like lay on your hip for like 30 minutes, and then it gets cramp, and like
you can't fuck all the way because they need to see the dick go in. So you have to like do it like an angle still, you know, because they want to see it.
Yeah, they want to see it. Yeah.
But like, no, I feel like when I met you and like I'm just sitting here talking to you, like the vibe that I get from you is like you're very professional on set.
Yes.
Like to you just go to work and you dip, you know?
Especially because I have a relationship and, you know, I do respect my boyfriend.
And so going into that, I was going to ask you, like, how is it juggling, like, doing porn? Because does your boyfriend, is he in porn or any sex work?
No, he's
not. So how is it, like, for him to kind of, like, date someone who's in the industry like that? And, like, does he ever feel insecure, feel away, resentment? Like, how do you juggle that?
Actually, when I met him, we were just fucking. We were just like hooking up, because to me, for a long time, I thought by having sex with men, I will have the validation as a woman, right? Like the woman validation. But then I stopped like thinking about it, and then I asked him, I'm like, "You're so handsome. Do you want to be my boyfriend?" And he told me not. And I'm like, okay. And then I started taking him in dates, but it was like mutual. He took me on dates, I took him on date. Like, we fall in love. And then, but I told him, like, babe, I'm not gonna leave porn right now until we're like 3 years together. So because that will tell me that you are gonna stay with me, because I don't want to be like, okay, I'm just gonna leave. But actually, yes, I did stop doing porn for like the first 8 months of my relationship. I didn't do no shoots.
How was that?
And to me, I did it for respect for my man, and he and he really appreciated it because he was like, yeah, you're trying to make this
you're serious about us.
You're serious about us.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. I stopped working and I started working at HSF because I needed an income. And then that's what happened. But like, he's totally fine with me doing like shoot, but he told me like, you're a star. He always like makes me feel so special. He's like, you're the star. Remember, like, you are worth so much. And he always like
that's so sweet and beautiful.
So nice
I love
to
that.
me. Yeah. So it makes me believe it. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I like acting. So I'm like, yeah, baby, that is easy money. It's not like I'm gonna be fucking a lot of people. It's just gonna be one scene, and the sex is not sex. It's like acting.
It's like work.
It's work. It's
yeah,
acting,
because like, there's cameras there's everything there, but I feel like if it was shooting content where it's kind of just like you and the guy in the camera, that's more intimate. That feels like a little bit of cheating, so it's kind of like that one is more like
I don't like that, but I do respect the people who does that. I'm like, work, get your money, because they're making money.
But like the work at porn is kind of just like, there's a lot of people there, like it just feels like you're shooting a movie.
It is actually, there's girls like on set, there's girls putting your panties on. There's women.
There's assistants and everything.
There's assistants. They put your panties on. They see you naked, and it's like 5 people behind. Like
the camera usually.
There's like 3 with cameras.
There's a guy holding a mic, probably.
Big mic one, and there's like the 2 with the cameras, and there's somebody behind for whatever you need.
No, trust me, I've been behind the scenes and I've seen it all.
Well, you're familiar with it, so it's a lot of people, and when you're not used to that, it can fuck with your mind a little bit, but I
feel like it's easier to like perform as like a bottom than like a top. Because like for men, like I feel like if like they're not used to that, they can lose their erection because they're so focused on that. But for like girls, they just gotta sit and take it. I'm like, oh yeah, and that's just what they do.
To me, I always like to, because I'm selling myself. I'm a product. I'm branding myself. I like to be hard only because of this scene. But
it sells the fantasy more.
It sells the fantasy, and it will give me more work if I do it that way. Because if I'm soft, like, people's not gonna jerk off. They're not gonna have as much.
They want to see the hard, because it shows that you're turned on.
That means that I'm enjoying
she's into it.
Into it. So that's why I like being hard. But in my personal life, I'm just a regular woman.
Are you required to like come or no?
I don't come. That's the thing. I've been on hormones for so long now, 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really hard.
So on a point, they don't like require the girls to come.
But you can fake it.
Yeah.
And you gotta know, like, porn.
None of it is
like,
real.
Nothing is real. Yeah. Like, you see me fucking with other girls. Like, I'm not lesbian. Like, no, I'm gay for pay too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was that? Was it nervous, like, getting into that?
Actually, no.
Like fucking a vagina for the first time, just kind of like.
No, I had no fucking vagina.
Oh, okay. So you're like gay for pay with other trans girls.
With other trans
girls.
And
how was that?
I actually shoot with Natalie Mars. She's like one of the biggest like porn stars for trans porn, and I shoot for Trans Angels with her. It was amazing because she was so nice.
Yeah.
I feel like once the person that you're working with is having like really
you guys
nice
have a good chemistry.
Not real good chemistry, no sex chemistry. It's more like out of the camera. Like you're talking, you're nice, like nothing sexual, just like random things. And it was really nice.
Because it creates like a comfortable like ground to like have a base off of, and it doesn't feel like awkward, because now you guys are like establishing like this kind of like this bond that's like, okay, like she's normal like me,
Yeah, actually, when you get to me, then I was like, when I saw her, like, baby, you're the biggest, I really love you. And she's like, oh my god, you're so sweet. And she gave me a hug, and she's like, yeah, get ready, babe. And it was
it's like women supporting women.
Yeah, women supporting women. We know the business. Like, and I thought, like, not only like, because like it looks so real, right? I thought she was lesbian, but she's also like for pay.
Yeah.
So if she's getting paid,
a lot of like trans girls are gay for pay, and like it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
But Brittany's gay. I like did my first like content with Brittany, and I was like, it was so like nerve-wracking for me. I was like, what do I do? I was like, this is like my best. I was like, this is my best friend. Like, this is so like, what the fuck? And then like,
I know.
Her dick was hard, and I'm like, all right, I guess just suck it like it's a man's dick. Like, just pretend it's like on like a Tinder boy or something. And I'm like sucking it. I look up and it's big old titties in my face. And I'm like, that's my friend. But like, it was really like
But I feel like with Brittany is so easy to work with because she's so like
she's so chill about it.
She's so chill. She's like, and also like for girls, like you can do softcore.
Yeah.
So a lot of softcore. I like that with girls, but with men, they need to be hard.
And like they want to actually fuck you and stuff.
Actually, yeah, they do. That's why they request.
Yeah.
And they request, but I don't. I honestly don't like going on set and a man be like all over me. I want he to be chill, you know, like because some guys think I'm a sex addict. I barely have sex actually. Yeah, only.
No, they think that all porn stars like they're sex addicts, but it's kind of like they go home, that's the last thing they want to do.
Yeah, no.
Like they do it for work. You think they really want to be having sex all the time? Like no.
No.
Yeah.
No sex. And it takes it takes a lot to get ready. It's just to just
douching
to have
and
sex.
everything.
Yeah,
Kind of just like
everything.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. So that's why I don't like having sex. I do consider myself asexual because.
What about in your personal life? Do you have sex in your personal life?
I do have sex within my personal life. Yeah, but it's not like we have schedules because I need like me. I don't want to me. More relationship is more sentimental. It's more like. I love you, you love me, we're taking care of each other, I do your laundry, you do my laundry.
It's like the little things aside from sex.
Yes.
Like goes outside of it, yeah.
Yeah, so, and yeah, that's what I really appreciate about my relationship. And I give my boyfriend sex because he deserves it. He makes me feel really nice. So I'm like, yes, of course I want to please you. Yeah. Of course I want to do this for you.
So that is kind of just like, there's intimacy behind it. It's personal, so you enjoy that.
Yeah.
Opposed to work, it's kind of just like,
yeah, that's why I don't like making content with my boyfriend because I don't.
That's your personal stuff.
I don't want to ruin my personal relationship.
That's beautiful.
With him.
Yeah, a lot of people they do that. I did that, and it's kind of like it kind of tarnished like me and my ex's like what makes like it intimate and what makes like our sex like our sex, and now it's like on the world to see. And so it's kind of like it devalued it. So I'm kind of glad you didn't do that because like that's a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, then it just doesn't feel right because. I mean, he has helped me like a couple of videos. I'm not gonna like, but it's still like I don't like it.
That's like that's your personal life. That's for you guys. That's what makes you guys you guys.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like hold on to that still. Like it's like it's like valued right now because like no one can see that but you guys.
Yeah, because when he's fucking me like on camera, I'm like just baby, because you're fucking in a position, right? Like a specific position. You're fucking for the camera. I'm like. Baby, I don't want to fuck for the camera. I want to make love.
Yeah, and like when the camera goes on, like everything just becomes like it's not fun. Like when I've like shot content, it's kind of just like I'm like looking at myself. Like it takes the fun and the intimacy away because now you're kind of just like we need to make it look good on the camera. We need to do this and do that, and it takes like the whole intimacy part out of it.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it. Yeah, and I feel like it ruins your personal life if you start shooting with your.
Because
then
it's kind of just like every time you have sex, you're thinking like, I need to record this. This is money. I need to like, and it's kind of like leave your work at work.
Yes.
And go home to like go home. And like that like can definitely like cause an issue because it did for me too. So it's kind of like I like that a lot. Like
yeah, it happens.
I think people should do that more.
Yeah, I feel like if you really appreciate and love your partner, well then. And if you're a porn star, well, don't do it because
you need to keep some moments to yourself. I feel like your relationship should be intimate and private because you're already like doing all that on the internet. The last thing you want is to put your relationship and what makes you guys like special on there as well.
And remember, what sells the most are solos, or is not like with other person. Like people loves to see only one person.
I love that. Like I love just watching guys jack off. I think it's so hot.
Yeah, same. I love it.
It's hot. It's so sexy.
It's really hot. We love men.
It's so yummy. Yeah. So going back to the T Awards, like what was your experience like there like? Like how was like seeing like all of the girls that you work with there? And it's kind of like, because like when you're working, you're kind of just like there like on work, but then now it's kind of like you're seeing at the awards show, it's like a high school reunion.
Yes.
What was that like for you?
Actually, I was shocked for two things because the people that I thought that were my friends, they weren't acting like my friends.
What were they doing?
They were like, they wanted to have all the attention. I know you're hustling and everything, but you're still my friend. Why are you being a bitch to
like
me?
what do you mean like all the attention? Like give me an example of like what happened.
Like I was in line. I got there first. Then my friend got there, and then she stepped in front of me when I was already first, and then she came in late. Then she wanted to be in the red carpet first, and I was there with Rodrigo, and I'm like, and Rodrigo was like, but we've been here first, and I'm like, okay, if it was for me, I'm like, I don't care, but then I'm also with Rodrigo, Rodrigo Diamor, so, and it was like really catty, I think it really shitty.
Did she like say anything to you, or just she kind of stepped in front of you?
She was just like,
And you let her cut you? You didn't like pull her hair?
No, I'm like, baby, know your place.
Yeah.
You came here late, and I'm letting you come in.
Yeah.
So remember that.
Yeah.
And then I had to, be like, why are you acting like a fucking bitch?
Yeah.
Why are you rolling your eyes so much?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this and that? It was so annoying because I'm like, girl, we're so close. Would you talk to we talk all the time. We're besties and everything. But like, why are you being so weird in a public space?
Is it because like there was like other girls there, and so she wanted to put on like a persona, like, I'm gonna be this bitch tonight because everyone's gonna be there.
But why is she putting a persona with me if I'm her friend, right?
We don't know. That's the only thing that she does. It's kind of like.
But I also I was so happy that I really got to meet other girls that really show me a different side.
Because I'm sure you met girls that you didn't work with as well that you've seen.
Like I met Emma. I met also Daisy. And
you never worked with Emma before?
I have not worked with Emma.
Oh, yeah, like that kind of just like seeing girls that you know of, but you're like, oh, now it's cool to meet her. You know?
And I just love being around the girls. But
you were having so much fun. I was sitting there and I was watching you the whole time because you were dancing. You were
blacked out.
You were up and out and you were just fucking going crazy. And I was like, Lola's having the time of her life right now. And I was like watching you and it was like your blonde hair just like bouncing around everywhere.
They say that towards the end I was naked.
Well, I mean, I left right before the award show ended. I left like I think an hour before it ended. So I don't know what happened at the end.
I just remember I got so drunk. Because I presented the first award. So I got on stage.
I saw that. You were so cute. Yeah.
And I was like so drunk already. But then when I don't remember after that what happens. And sometimes I feel like I do want to apologize if I say something mean to somebody didn't really mean it. We're talking about drunk people, and showing their demons. And I'm like, oh, that was me. Yeah, sorry.
I did that. That's my demon.
Yeah, that's my demon. Sorry if I did. But yeah, so it was a mess. But yeah, that was.
Did you have fun though?
I did have a lot of fun.
You looked like you had a lot of fun.
I was actually looking forward to see Brittany and also Gracie James.
The performance,
yes.
I know. I came for like they were performing at a few clubs before that, and then they invited me, but I was kind of just always busy. I had like so many podcasts already lined up, and I was like, I'm gonna miss that. But I'm going to the award show, so I'll see you guys perform. Yeah. And I got to see them perform, and it was cute.
I was not expecting to see you actually because I always watch your podcast. You're so fun to watch.
Thank you.
So I was watching the podcast, and then you say like, I might not go to we're not going.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, then I saw you, and I'm like, oh yes.
I know you were so excited, and I was like, at first it was kind of like overwhelming for me because I was kind of like, oh my god, like this is the girl that like fucked my man, and then I had to understand like, but it wasn't her fault, like it was his fault for like lying about it. Like I was like, she had no idea, like this isn't her fault at all, and I kind of had to like realize that because like obviously every woman's gonna feel a way about the other woman. Yeah. But then like in that moment, I was kind of like, you were super sweet to me. You were super excited, and I had to like understand like this. It's not her fault. It's not her fault.
It's because like I feel like I've been watching you, because I like your videos. Because I've been trying to get pumped too. So I even bought your own.
When you like literally told me this, I was like, oh my god, you're so OG.
Yeah, I wanted I even bought your OnlyFans just to see the whole experience and everything, and I'm like. Work, and I love like how she's so open about these things, and she's trying to help the other girls, and she's helping the other girls. I love that. I love that type of energy.
Well, I mean, like, I'm glad it's like paying off somehow because the things that I talk about on here, I've gotten a lot of shit for because like the other girls will come back and be like, Elena, like, why would you talk about that? Like, that's our work. Like, why would you talk about escorting? Like, some of us rely on that. Why would you like bring it up to like the public like that? Like, that's our work. How dare you? Like, you may not need to work, but like we do it, and like you can't just talk about it like that because like now it's gonna interfere with our work. And I'm like, I get that 100%, but it's kind of like the amount of younger girls who are just walking around clueless. They're looking for answers. Yeah, and it's kind of like me having such like a big platform. Yes. I'm gonna give them the answers that like I didn't have when I was younger. And so it's kind of like I don't care if like, it's fucking up your work because like these little girls are gonna do things that are worse because they're not getting any help.
Then they're just being selfish, they're just thinking about themselves and they're not thinking about the newer girls.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like if the work of if talking about escorting is that much of an issue, bitch, go work somewhere else. But like there are so many younger girls who are like just doing so dangerously and they're not understanding the right ways to do it and how to go about it, and it's kind of like that's so fucked up and dangerous. And like, no one's telling them anything.
Yeah.
No one's telling them the dark truth behind like sex work.
Yes.
And so like, because I've seen it and been through it, and I have a big platform that all watch me, I'm gonna fucking do it. And like, I don't give a fuck if you're mad. Like, they're gonna appreciate it, you know. And like, that's gonna help like them so much more, because they're gonna know like the right way to do it. And like, I mean, it's not a right way to do sex work, but like, they're gonna know like the proper way to go about it to not get hurt. And like, being like, the fact that so many people die from being trans, and if I can just talk about it to prevent that, I'm gonna fucking do it, you know.
And but apparently just those people are just being selfish. They're just thinking about themselves, and we don't like that. We're here, I feel like we're a community. We gotta help each other, because we're all struggling, especially, you know, when you're in the beginning of your transition.
It's very tough.
You need money. You need money, and escorting helps. It helps because anyone can see it, and all the girls work there. Even if you're the ugliest girl,
some guy's gonna be into that, you know.
The thing is that the guys, they see all the girls,
of course,
and they're not like picky. They just see everybody, because
they'll hit you up, and if you're too high, they'll go to the next one. And they'll go into like they find a price they like. But yeah, they lowball like crazy. Yeah, it's like sex work is like insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, I like sex work because of the money. I don't like when people steals and stuff, because that has happened to me. Like so many bad experiences. Like it's not as easy as it sounds.
And again, like, some people are having those bad experiences, and like they're looking for answers, looking for help, and like how to do it like safer. I'm gonna tell them how to do it, because here's how I did it. Do you know what I mean?
I honestly am gonna give this advice to the girls. Like, if you're gonna do sex work, I at least open an OnlyFans, so you know, like,
you can at least get like some kind of like
and at least you can be like, oh, I was making content. I wasn't like escorting or anything. So like, because still, you know, it's not legal, and I wish it was. In New York, they just criminalize it,
and it's like fucked up, because a lot of people like rely on that, you know. So it's kind of like, it's sad. And like, the reason why a lot of trans girls go into like sex work, especially younger ones, because
I don't want they to legalize it though, because I don't want to pay taxes.
Oh my god, the amount of taxes that goes into fucking sex work would be insane.
There will be
so
like,
fucking much.
I feel like America would be like the first country in economy, like, because that's where I feel like
America would be out of debt, because so much fucking money in sex work. Like, imagine if you got taxed like, oh, a client's $500, like $20 needs to go to like fucking the government for taxes or something like that.
$20? I feel like once you're young and you don't have like kids or like somebody,
they take more.
Like, they take more. Like from
like 20% or 40%.
From my paychecks, sometimes I make $3,000. They only give me $1,500.
Fuck up, that's half.
I know, that's half of it, but then the government takes that, and I'm like, and that's why I don't like being young. That's why I don't like not having kids, because all the money that I make goes to the government. And then people be talking shit about porn. Like, we're taxes payers. Don't worry.
I mean, it's you're paying taxes.
I mean, so I guess I'm totally fine, since they pay for my boobs, I guess.
Yeah, because you got your boobs through insurance. You got it through insurance.
Take the money.
You're like, here, I'm
paying off, I guess.
No, but yeah, a lot of girls, like younger trannies, like get into sex work because like they want to like do regular stuff, but like they're like, oh, I look too bricky. I need to make money for my surgeries first. And so they do sex work because it's quick, fast money. You make it a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, they get addicted to that.
Yes.
Because they're like,
easy money.
They're like, why would I go back to working a regular job? Once they get their surgeries, they're like, okay, I got to what I wanted. I'm done. But now, why would I work at Victoria's Secret when I can just keep taking clients?
But also, like,
much more. You know what I mean?
But also, like, in regular jobs, you face a lot of discrimination too.
Oh, of course. And so, like, that plays a big part into it as well. Yeah. But then, like, the money factor, I'm just like,
oh, yes. I feel like the money part is just, to me, like, it's like more on the extra side. Like, I work at a place called Asia SF, like, where it's only transgender women. That's why I like working there. Yeah. But even there, I get misgender. Even there, like, people be calling us drag queens or men. Yeah. And so that's why I don't really like dealing with people and working around people, because
but with clients, it's kind of just like they praise you, they love that. So it's kind of like they're never going to be the type to be like that. But
I know
it's a lifestyle that, like, when you make that much money doing absolutely fucking nothing, how do you turn that away
in 30 minutes? Sometimes, like
15, like so fucking fast. Like, there were times when I really look at the clock and I'm like, he was only in here for 10 minutes, really? And I'm like, what the fuck? Because like, they come so fast.
Yeah. The thing about me, like, I give them experience. When I used to escort, when they get there, I'm like, okay, I got my candles on. I have like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little back massage. I'm gonna, making like you want a drink or something, because you need that to come back. You gotta build, like
a regular,
a regular client. So I was trying to make them feel special, and actually, the regulars are the ones that I still see.
Yeah, because they pay a lot. Because you go to bond with them. For me, I never did that. I said fuck the regulars, because there's always gonna be new clients. I treated them all like shit. Like I like they would come in and I'd be like the only conversation would be like from the door of my house to my room, and that is, how was the drive? How's the drive here? Was it traffic? Oh my god, no way. And then later I just start undressing myself, and then they do it, and then later, before you know it, we're going to it. And later I go, oh, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight, thank you, and then they just leave.
I love it.
And like that was how I like worked. But then like I also saw like only the hot guys, because I needed to feel like I'm enjoying it somehow too. And so like that's why I did it when I was escorting. I was like, I'm only gonna see the hot guys. That way I don't feel like I'm actually escorting. That way I feel like there's something in it for me as well. Like I'm enjoying it too.
I have such a bad luck. Mine were like only old people. Like
I got hit up by old people too, but then like there were some that were attractive, and I was like, okay, I'll see that one instead of that one. Even if he offered less, I fucking see the less, because like I'm like, I just can't see the old guy. I just can't do it, because like I'm not mentally like there yet. And I was kind of like, I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the experience.
Yes.
To see what it's all about, because all my friends were escorts, and they're like, oh, my client. I'm like, I want to be in on this conversation. I want to talk about my clients too. Like I feel so left out, so I fucking did it to see what it was all about, because everyone was fucking doing it. And then once I was like, all right, I've had enough, I like stopped doing it.
Actually, that's why I was in San Francisco. I don't know if you ever like hear about Divas.
No, what is
Divas
that?
was like a nightclub slash like girls like performing, but it was only transgender women, so it was like
kind of like showgirls.
It was showgirls,
like
but they were like
they perform and
stuff. They were dancing in the pole, but there were like private dancing too. So but they closed it like 5 years ago.
Okay.
But so the girls now, there's a lot of street walkers out of Divas. So that's where the street is. Mm-hmm. But I remember I used to go to this group, and everybody was like, oh, how was the night? Everybody was talking about sex work on the streets. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I used to watch a lot of telenovelas, and there were a lot of hookers there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I want to be a street hooker too.
Yeah, like everything I feel like for you and I kind of like, I feel like that lifestyle was glamorized for us.
Yes.
And we kind of saw it in this like glamorizing way.
Yes.
And so we kind of like gravitated towards that. Like my friends were talking about like escorting, they weren't talking about it in a way where they were like, I hate it. They were talking in a way where like they were loving it.
Right.
And same with you, telenovelas, like they were fucking like, they were glamorizing it. Like they were like making sex work seem like it was different than what it actually was.
There's actually one telenovela called that Sin Senos No Hay Paraíso, which translates, if you don't have, without breasts, there is no, you're not gonna go to the paradise or something like that. I don't know, like without breasts, you're not gonna make money and stuff. Yeah. So it was like all about Colombia and like the girl having a small breast, and she got to go to prostitution. Once she got her breast done, she was killing it. Yeah. She took her family off the street. Her family had a business and everything. And I'm like, oh my God. So I feel like I was so like, I saw it as normal. So
it was glamorized.
It was glamorous. So I didn't really see it as bad. And I always wanted to be, I always wanted to have experience. Like I did drugs because I wanted experience. I wanted to be like, oh yes, I was a homeless. I did this. I was poor, but I want people to see the aftercome. Look at where I am.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't control yourself, don't put yourself out there. I know myself, so that's why.
Same with me. It's kind of just like I know myself. Like I don't have an addictive personality or an addictive mindset. So like I tried everything. I tried it, and I was like, all right, done, bored. What's the next thing? And like. I did it just so that I did it, rather than like just being like, oh, I've never done that, Same with you in drugs, because look, you're not addicted to it.
No, I am not. But but because I know myself, I know when to stop, and I don't like doing it. But I also like when I was doing drugs, that's when I got into escorting, because the girl that I was doing drugs with, and she was doing escort. And she taught me the way. She opened my. She paid with the Bitcoin, with the everything.
Yes, the Bitcoin.
She did the whole thing, but it was like really hard for me because, when you're like 18. You cannot get hotels. You gotta be 21.
Really? I thought it was 18 for some reason.
In San Francisco, it's different.
Oh, it's different there. Okay, yeah.
I'm from San Francisco, so San Francisco, it's really interesting, like the city.
I've never been there, but I know it's like really like LGBT friendly.
You have to come to San Francisco.
I'll come.
I'll give you a tour.
Oh my god, yes, please.
Yes,
so
San
down.
Francisco is so much fun. San Francisco, there's a lot of people. There's like really amazing energy, but there's a lot of like kindness, and everywhere you go, you know how the community is.
If there's more dolls, it's more issues.
I love the dolls. I love my dolls.
Yeah.
So whenever you see me, just approach me. So, I'm not a mean person.
You're very friendly.
I'm friendly.
When I first met you, I had nothing but good things to say about you. Like, I literally like talked about you the next day to like a bunch of people, and I was like, yeah, she was so sweet about everything. She came up to me, like I have a lot of respect for her. Like I thought like she was gonna be like away, but like she wasn't, and you were such a sweetheart, and like that honestly like blew me away, because the whole night I was just seeing like all these trannies like acting like a certain way, like thinking they're better than me, and kind of just like, oh, like I got your man first, like this and that, and like I saw that, and so like I was expecting that, and then I saw that, and then I met you, and like you really were like, oh wow, like that's different, like you blew me away.
Yeah, it's because before when I was back in my country, girl, like the Chinese were trying to kill me.
Yeah,
because when you're like the older transgender women, like they try to cut your face.
Damn, they fucking go crazy like that.
They tried to cut your face. One time I remember I was with one of my friends. We were on the streets, and then these two transgender women, one of them was 36, the other one was like 40, and they chased us with a knife.
Like, why are they not supporting each other though? That's crazy to me.
And especially coming from the old generation, that's why I'm like, I'm always nice, because I'm like, I have been through so much like shitty experience, and like I don't want the girls to experience that. Like I know that community is not the best, but I'm like, not everybody in the community wants to hurt other girls. Because I feel like a lot of girls like ask for respect, but they're not respecting.
Of course, they demand this, but they can't provide that.
Yes, and that's why
kind of like you can't demand what you can't provide. Like,
this double standard. I'm like
100%.
I don't like that about the girls. I'm like, everybody's fighting, everybody's competing. I'm not competing with anyone. I'm competing with myself just to be better. And sometimes that's why I even show myself, like I expose myself. I'm like, I wear no makeup, no wigs. I'm having this and that. I'm like. So girls, that I'm real, that I'm not like trying to put myself out there as this perfect woman that has no imperfections, because
we're just like everyone else. Yeah, and like it's great because it's relatable.
Yeah,
and like a lot of the younger girls can look at you and be like, oh, I can relate to her.
Yeah, I want them to feel comfortable. Yeah, I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to like have an amazing experience. I don't want them to have like crappy experience like I did, but sometimes I feel like you need to have bad experience in order to be a good person.
Yeah, because like it makes you stronger. It builds you up like to have a stronger ground. That's same with you, where it kind of just like you grew up in like such an aggressive way of like being treated like harshly by like your own girls and like your family, so it's kind of like now like you're, because of that experience, you're turning everything around to like be the complete opposite, to be like a supporting system for other people, because you don't want them to go through what you went through. And I feel like that's so beautiful.
I'm done. I wish that every girl goes through like crappy experience, so they're like better people in life,
and because it shapes her to be a stronger person as well.
Yeah, but also like girls go through hella shit, but they get like even worse. I feel like they, sometimes,
because they use as kind of like a defense mechanism, where it's kind of like, this person did this to me, now I'm gonna come back stronger and get revenge, and like they want to get even, like that's how they are. But some girls, like they get hit, and then they stand up and they just like they accept it, and they just like they learn from it, and they kind of just like build a stronger way to defend it. But some girls get hit and they turn back around and they want to fight more.
Do you fight? Are you a fighter?
I'm like I'm the type to get even.
No, me. I'm more like a mouth girl.
I get even. So like for like how you were just saying how like some girls like they get hurt and they come out more worse. That's me.
But that's me. What if the girl looks like a 40-year-old man? Who got no hormones, but you had to respect them as women, and these people are trying to cut your face, and telling you that you're not a woman enough, and they're not even on hormones, and they're trying to kill you, and you're small, and you're way smaller than them. So I feel like
of course it's normal to be scared.
Yes,
it's very normal to be scared. I would be scared too, but it's kind of like I'd probably be scared for a little bit. But then after a while, I would find a way to hurt them without them knowing.
But I feel like the people that comes against you is more like girly girls, you know, like the you know, like it's not like manly ones, or are the?
I mean, like
ones?
we don't know, but like I'm the types where it's kind of like I'm not a catty girl.
And I'm not either.
Yeah, like I've met so many trans girls, and like they can vouch for me. Like they've only had good experiences with me, you know.
Yeah.
But I have it in me to be catty. I have it in me to be the nastiest tranny you can ever meet, because like that's who I am, you know. So it's kind of like that's who you are. That's who we are, like deep inside. Like we're trannies. We see that all the time. Yes. We're surrounded by that, so we know like what that's like. It's just a matter of like, do we want to tap into that and become that? You are strong, so you're like, I'm better than this. I'm not gonna do that.
I can be catty sometimes, you know. I like it. I like it sometimes.
It's so fun for me.
It's fun, but you know, sometimes, but as long as I'm not hurting anyone, as long as, you know, I'm like, you know,
I don't go out of my way to hurt people unless they hurt me first. But if like you start shit with me, I'm gonna make sure I get even. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop until I'm satisfied. Yes. And I will I fight dirty. Like I'm like a dirty.
I love that.
I don't do it clean. Like I'll drag everything out because
revenge.
if you're intense, because like the thing is like I don't go out of my way to hurt you. No, I'm like really nice. Like I meet everyone and I'm really friendly to everyone.
So you don't give the first hit. That's what you're
never ever
love that.
And that's why I'm like really unproblematic, because I haven't started shit with anyone. I haven't done any drama, and so it's like, again, ask any tranny who's never met me. Nothing but good things to say about me, because I'm always like friendly. I'm always good. But until you start shit with me and you're on like my hit list, I'm gonna drag everything out, and I'm gonna make sure I don't stop until like I'm satisfied and I can sleep at night.
Yeah, I hear that you threw a chair at somebody
at the Abbey. Yeah, but like I like they always say like, don't stoop down to her level. You're better than this. No, I'm not. I'm going down to her fucking level.
I love that.
I'm gonna fight just like her, if not fucking dirtier.
Period.
Like I'm nasty like that, but I just don't do it because no one starts shit with me yet, you know. Yeah. So I'm waiting for it.
I mean, you don't party, you don't.
Yeah, I don't go out. I don't drink. Like I really don't like. I'm not on the internet like being messy either. So it's kind of like I'm not really out here for.
You're in the entertainment world. I mean, sometimes I feel like you're. But I feel like when you say something, I'm like, people, like, this is the entertainment world. Like, it's not like, don't take it personally.
You want to get people talking to come back.
Yeah, it's like, this is where you're watching us. Like, whatever you're doing right now, you're watching us. Just so accept it. You like drama when you're not part of it. So
exactly. So it's kind of like you can stay and be like, oh, like there's too much drama, but then guess what? You're still coming back in to read the comments. So it's like, what does that say about you? You just like it as well, but you just don't want to like admit it.
They're not better than us.
They're not better than us at all. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't mind like being on the fucking entertainment side of it. Like, yeah. So I think catty trainees are amazing. I love them.
I do love it. Yeah, I love being catty sometimes, especially, you know, when the girl like
deserves it.
Yeah, when they give me the side eye, or sometimes you can feel like when somebody don't like you,
or when they're trying to read you.
They're like, oh my god, your shoulders, right? Or like, oh, you're so skinny, or like, I'm like, when are you getting pumped and stuff like that?
Like the little comments, like the little comments, like they want to say it to like make sure you know like it's an issue, but like they won't say it directly because they want it to be nice about it. But like, things like that, like, oh, it's like, when are you getting pumped? Insinuating like you need body or something. Like, bitch, do you think I need it? Is that why you're like asking? Like, does it look like I fucking need it?
And
like,
I feel like some people be like I look at myself in the mirror every day, you know, like we are the worst critics,
of course.
So like,
and so for someone to go out of the way to like point that out and really just like make it known to your attention as if you don't see it every day, it's kind of just like, oh, now you want to start shit. Well, you know, like, I'm ready to read a bitch whenever, but it's just I just don't, because I'm classy.
I love that.
And I wait for someone to try me, you know. But then it's kind of like, you can come for me, but what are you gonna come for?
Wow, you're perfection.
Like, what are you gonna fucking come for, bitch? Like, for
yeah, like me, I was never the pretty girl.
It's like an easy way out. Yeah, a cheap shot.
Yeah, like it push you, like, and like it wanna makes you do it to prove a point. Prove a point, yes. Because like with a lot of people, like my ex high school teacher from El Salvador, he told me there will never be a woman. And
so it makes you want to, oh, I'm going to show you, bitch.
And I'm going to show you.
Let me fucking show you.
And I'll make sure I'll fuck you. So
exactly.
I'm trying to fuck you. So
Lola, before we head out, is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to promote?
No, I just want to say that you can just follow me on my social media.
I'll link it all down below, you guys.
MSLILO1. That's pretty much it. But all I have to say is thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming. She literally flew here.
Yeah,
like she literally got off the plane and then came straight here.
Actually, no, I missed a flight.
Yes, I know. You told me, and I was like, oh my god, I hope she's able to get at the next flight. And then you were able to, but like the fact that you flew out just to come on my podcast and then you're flying back.
Yeah,
like I love that, and like that's the biggest honor to me. So thank you so much for that, for giving me your time.
Like remember, support transgender businesses, support the trans community. Like that's what.
And you're very like uplifting of like women, and
yes,
I love
of course.
That. Like you fight for your community, and like to me that's so beautiful. Like
yes, we gotta advocate for ourselves, because other people is bashing us right now.
So I love that a lot about you, because a lot of girls like they don't like do that. They're against each other within the community, but you're not like that. And like again, I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy you like took your time out to come on my podcast.
Thank you. I guess we have so much to talk about. I'm sorry, you guys.
But like I love you so much. I have such an amount of respect for you, and like whatever you need in the future, if it's a wig or anything, you let me know.
Yes, of course I'm gonna get a wig from you, girl.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
But yes, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, you guys. I'll leave all her stuff in the description box down below, and until my next episode, you guys, let's get demonetized. Bye, guys.